Now it's time for the papers on France 24. Dipti is joining us here on set. She's going to start with reactions to that Democratic primary debate. We showed you a few pictures and a few clips from it a little bit earlier on, Dipti.
That's right. Healthcare and immigration, really the predominant themes of that second round of Democratic primary debates on Tuesday evening U.S. time. Progressives Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders receiving the most speaking time as a clear progressive moderate divide really emerged within the Democrats on core issues. Elizabeth Warren's, for instance, and her idea for a wealth tax, or Bernie Sanders wanting to make colleges debt-free. This was the first of two nights of Democratic debates, and as the New Yorker picks up, the luck of the draw means big names like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will be on stage separately Wednesday evening, and that seems to be it seems to be creating a bit of frustration in the U.S. press. The website Vox really lamenting the fact that so far in these Democratic debates, there hasn't actually been real debate between candidates who have a real chance of being elected because of the luck of the draw is such that they're not appearing on the same evening. This will only come in round 3 when the roster is whittled down a bit and we'll start to see some real hardcore debating.
Yeah, we shall see how the second one goes, of course. Now, let's go to India. The latest tiger population figures giving us some good news for once.
That's right. For once, there's some good news in the animal world. Tiger numbers have grown by 1/3 to roughly 3,000 tigers from the last figures 4 years ago. Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying that India has emerged as one of the safest and biggest habitats for tigers in the world. Of the 4,000 tigers in the world, around 3,000 are in India. So India home to most of the tiger population. For the Hindu, this increase in tiger numbers will allow India to add to its global standing as a conservation marvel. I quote, a populous country that has preserved a lot of its natural heritage, even amidst fast-paced economic growth. However, the methodology of counting tigers has been contested by the science community, who say that the increase is far lower than reported. The Times of India noting that these numbers also come at a time when there's a lot of man-animal conflict in India. To combat this, the editors say India needs to develop things like wildlife tourism and give back to the local communities.
And staying with the theme of animals, the Japanese government has given the green light. This is for a plan to create animal embryos, but with human cells?
Yeah, that's right. It sounds gross, doesn't it? Researchers
Slightly.
will be allowed to grow human pancreases in either rats or mice.
Wow.
In what's the first experiment approved by the government since it lifted a ban earlier this year. Previous humanoid experiments saw the pregnancies terminated before term. This time, the humanoids will actually be born. They won't look like that picture behind me.
You sure?
And if you were hoping for a new hybrid race, then you're sadly mistaken. The goal of this is to test growing human organs first in rodents and then eventually pigs, with the possibility of transplanting them to transfer patients one day. Suffice to say, there are huge ethical issues around it.
Yeah, I'm glad you explained that one to us as well, Dipti. Finally from Dipti, going to take you back to medieval times. Well, kind of. We're going to talk about the sport of jousting, but it's getting a little modern technology, apparently.
That's right. Jousting, which actually originated in the 12th century, is getting VAR, video assisted referee technology.
Really?
The sport involves two knights in steel armor riding at each other with one of those lances. The problem is when you're hit, it either feels like you're hit by a train or nothing at all. So now they want to trial VAR technology to help decide when competitors have actually scored a hit against their opponents. Only time will tell if it's as controversial as it was in football.
I was going to say, surely you can tell if someone falls off, but presumably it's just a lighter hit instead of a big one. Anyway, thank you very much, Dipti, with the papers on France 24. Thanks.